Hello, hello, everyone. It is 8 o'clock on Tuesday, and hopefully, you guys have prepared questions this time. So, these things are not for me to wax on and on about. I want these to be live sessions where the questions that you come up with during the week, you get to ask me about them. That's the whole point. That's your advantage of being on the website, is being able to ask me specific questions during the week regarding what's going on. So, somebody let me know if this is working on the website. Aha, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Jonathan. Nice to see you both. I love you too. I am really tired today. Didn't sleep well last night. Trying to go through the ups and downs. Trying to ride that wave. Hi, Stephanie, love. Nice to see you. Okay, Jonathan, I think I read on the website that you had a question from last time. Do you remember what it was? Okay, what was it? Yeah, this is riding a big long wave and it's exhausting. Seriously exhausting. Okay, what's your question, Jonathan? I think we're all feeling it for sure. All of us that know what I'm talking about anyway. Thank you, Michelle, for drawing my attention to it, or I would have been clobbered for sure. Yeah, that's late even for you, Steph. I'm trying to just let him go through. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. Lots of triggers of undivine masculine and feminine flowing my way that I'm having to just not look at and let them just flow through. It is tricky and I'm tired. So, Jonathan, what's your question? Shoot, here's your safe place. And during any of these, most of the time, after they're done, I'm going to put them up after they're not live anymore on YouTube. If for any reason during any of these, any one of you do not want me to do that on a session, just tell me and I will keep it private to the website. So if it goes along in its conversation that nobody's bothered by, I'll go ahead and put it up on YouTube. If anybody doesn't want it up there, you just let me know and we'll keep it on the website. This is you guys' conversations. I want to keep them where you want them and still share the information when I can. But you guys let me know. Okay, Jonathan, are there any game scenarios where Starseed's pub friends bow out and cannot help them? Never. 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 Your pub friends, there is nothing that you'd be doing down here that the pub friends would not help you with, ever. Because in the now, there's no such thing as good and bad. That's your um, decision of how to look at things. But the pub friends are in the now and they look at all as experience. Nothing good, nothing bad. They'll support you no matter what you're doing. Sandra, I was a bit weirded out by my travel plans broadcast. Then I remembered I am a god, so who cares? Good, good. Well, I think it was something about Florida, and this is a pretty big country, so I don't think anybody would be able to tell where you are in Florida. I'd have to really narrow it down. But if it does bother you, Sandra, if you want me to take it down, there haven't been that many people that's seen it. I can put it back the other direction. You just let me know. I'm pretty open about everything. I don't hide anything. I don't even know how many people know my password now because I don't care. Because I'm taking this merging into oneness very, 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 very seriously. But I don't expect everybody to do it the same way I do it. So you guys just let me know. Okay, did that answer your question, Jonathan? Okay, then we'll leave it up, Sandra. Uh, yeah, I agree. It kind of was mind blowing to me. That was via Michelle seeing some rather unique things, and then I talked to the spiritual empress, I think Megan, and she had seen it a few days before, all the beings in the air and the pearls. She had talked about the pearls too with the divine energy. So it was kind of a surprise for me. I thought we'd be doing it through human, kind of like we did the male. But no, it was pretty mind boggling and it has been massively strong since then. Very, very strong. Especially being here and trying to keep up with, helping G Man and keeping stuff done around the house and helping as many people as I can out there at the same time. Okay, Jonathan says, does Gaia have representatives in the form of long-term humans? Uh, no, not the way I take that question. No. All of us are representatives of Gaia. Every being on this planet is a representation and a representative of Gaia. So I wouldn't divide out anybody in specific. I think there might be people who say they are, which is fine if they want to believe that. I don't care. I don't see them that way, no. Gaia will try to talk to anyone and everyone all the time. All you got to do is listen. She is attempting to communicate with every being on this planet all the time and allowing them to respond as they wish. So I would not say that there are any specific representatives of Gaia. No. Hello, G-Man, from right in the other room. Okay, next question. Sandra, when you talk to your physical body, are you talking to Gaia? No, there is a separate consciousness that is this body, that is a part of Gaia, as everything is a part of Gaia. But I do talk to this body separately, and then talking to Gaia, because Gaia is in charge of everything. So uh, she's got a lot to go through, and sometimes it can take a longer time for me personally to get the correct answer out of Gaia as to what's wrong with this body. Whereas if I go directly to this body, I get the answer quicker, unless I'm in a lot of pain. And then usually I go to Stephanie, and Stephanie will sometimes talk to my body, or she will talk to Gaia, who will look at my body. But I try to talk to my body myself first. But there's not one way of doing anything ever. If I can't, if things are bad with the body and I can't get through to my body, sometimes I'll talk to my higher self, sometimes pub friends, sometimes the sun, sometimes magical creatures, sometimes sometimes Stephanie's highest self. All different directions. It just depends upon which one works better in the moment. Yeah, nice. If I'm really having trouble talking to anybody, that's when I call Stephanie, and Stephanie will be my in between. But I've got to be in pretty bad shape if I can't talk to anybody. I've gone way past what I knew to do, and she can connect it back in pretty fast. Okay, next question. Way to go. Good guys. Good guys. Is this about what you guys wanted on this website? Is this the kind of talks you wanted to have with me? Did I get to it? This is kind of what I had in mind for this group, was to be able to talk a lot back and forth with each other and Stephanie, and have easy one-on-one quick access to me about 3 times a week. I thought that would give you enough time to exist, experience, and then have questions for me, go on to the next one. So is this working for you guys? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Type faster. Good. Good, Sandra. And Sandra and Jonathan, you guys are two of my biggest talkers, so I'm glad you guys show up. I'm not sure. I think Mario has trouble with this particular form of communication, but we do talk in sessions frequently. Good. That's kind of what I had in mind, Sandra, was kind of to have you line up questions that were important to you. Let me give you the answers, give you a day or two to kind of mull them over, which hopefully will lead you to the next round of questions and hopefully help you in your walk to 5D, your unique walk to 5D. Stephanie, maybe you should go into talking about attachments that are not physical. I keep seeing people not realizing that attachments to friends are just as troublesome as attached to a house. Okay, guys, whenever I say attachments, I mean all attachments, and I mean all attachments. Attachments to the human body's form, attachments to your intellect, attachments to your sons and daughters, attachments to your parents, attachments to the colors you like, attachments to being able to see through your eyes. Every single one of them eventually will go to get to 5D. Each and every one of those is just another part of the game. So it's not big picture attachments. I'm not talking about being attached to money or house or job, or I'm talking about everything that you're attached to. If you can't imagine life without it, then you've got an attachment to it and you need to let it go. Because and in 5D, there is no attachment to anything because there's instant manifestation. If you're attached to stuff that you cannot instant manifest into something brand new moment to moment because you're stuck. And being stuck does not work in 5D, so that goes back down to 4D. The only way that you can go into instant manifestation is being unattached in all ways, all the time. Let's see, Michelle, I've been smelling flowers a lot lately, seeing children with flowers in their hair playing near water encircled with flowers. In my opinion, what that is that's the Stephanie. You can pop in on that one too. I know that the fairies are what we'll see first. So children, flowers, water, right before people, regular people, being able to see fairies. Now they'll probably see them as dragonflies, birds, and butterflies first as they transform into little humanoid looking things, but that is a part of it. Jonathan, great video with Rich and the Aquarius info. Can you discuss Pisces? If not tonight, next session maybe. You know, you need to talk to the Empress and Rich about those because I do not know anything about the um, the astrology things. I know each one affects everybody differently, but I'm not an expert on it, and it is very specific vibrational information that people that have studied it a long time are a lot better at it than I am, and Rich and the Empress are a lot better at it than I am. And it's my expertise is much better out coming in, and those vibrations are dealing with vibrations and how they work on the planet. So I will refer you over to them, follow them because they've got great information. How things work on this planet specifically is not my forte. My forte is much more on how we get out of here, not how it's been working here, but how we get out of here. And how we get out of here, of course, is going to drop all of those astrology terms, but they will be good in identifying the those tendencies so that you can drop the attachments to get to 5D. Uh, also, I see. My ex that G-Man says he likes Pisces. My ex number one was a Pisces. He was a good friend, but was not a good husband. Okay, Stephanie, if you stay close to kids, you'll see Fae even faster, and you'll see the flower fairies and pixies first, the ones you grew up hearing about. So true. So, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I'm seeing too. Trolls are giant teddy bears, so try not to freak out when you see them. On a silly note, did you see Rich's new vid roasting each of the zodiac signs? LOL, they're really funny. I have not seen that, but that would be funny. I think I will definitely watch that. Hey, Sandra, attachments are and can be very subtle and tied to beliefs. Absolutely. Almost all attachments are based on beliefs, and beliefs have to be gotten rid of too. They've got to become all inclusive instead of this belief versus this belief. And it's that picking one or the other that causes the discordance in getting to 5D. Because 5D, you have to understand all of it is valid, all of it is good. You can play with all of it in a positive way so that there's no destruction. If you've got an attachment to something that instantly assumes, well, let's say you've got an attachment to your baby. Well, that means that you think that you control what that baby does. Well, that will never do in 5D. Let's say that you have an attachment to your mother and father. Well, then that means that you have an attachment to being respectful of them. Well, that interferes with 5D. So you can't be doing that. Michelle, kids and dogs keep wandering into my garage when I am painting. LOL. Yeah, I'll bet so, Michelle. I'll just hang on to Michelle as she floats her way into 5D, laughing the whole way as I'm like, as Stephanie and I've described, as I'm like barely dragging myself up the mountain on my hands and knees with the flag of 5D in my teeth, absolutely refusing to quit. And Maria and Michelle and probably Stephanie will all be dancing around me. Come on, come on, come on, let's go. Come on, come on. You can do that. So, yeah, it's been a big ongoing joke between Stephanie and me for quite a while now. But that's that. As Rich says, that's my tenacious Capricorn. I will not stop cutting down that big cottonwood with a butter knife till it's down. Thank you, Sandra. That's the only way I can look at it, that I'm getting better at it every day. So maybe by the time I get to the top of that mountain, I'm actually maybe halfway standing, or at least only on my knees instead of hands and knees. Stephanie, stubbornly, very stubbornly, yep, very stubbornly. We got this. Michelle, thank goodness, Michelle, we got this. Yeah, we got this. It doesn't feel like it at times, but yes, we got this. We can do this. All right, what else is going on in your lives, guys? Give me another question that you want to think about for the next 2 days. I think tomorrow I might be able to do some more painting. I did some paintings. I got the Divine Masculine out, but the other ones that I did are pretty intense and dark. So I think I'll do a video and just show them, see if anybody can recognize who they are for. If they don't, I think G-Man wants every single one of them. Got a gnat flying around me. Oh, good. So how's it doing? Are you changing your eye color, Steph? I kind of changed mine from brown green to pretty green, and I pretty much stopped because I kind of like this color. Get it once. Yay, good for you. Well, the new energies for me are not the problem. It's when the new ones hit, um, it's the contrast of them are making me really aware of the negative, of the undivine, masculine and feminine in my life. So I'm not seeing the divine of either right now. I'm being slapped in the face with all of the undivine that has been in my life, being triggered all the time with it. And immediately I want to fight back. So immediately I bow up, and then the next split second I blow it out and let it flow right on by, pay no attention to it. And then usually a couple minutes later, another one hits me in the face. So it's like I am riding the wave, but I'm dipping underneath the wave over and over and over again and spitting out salt water. So I'm not as good at it as, say, Michelle, who I truly believe is riding on the back of a dolphin at the top of the wave. I'm like floating on the top of the wave, bobbing in and out very fast, trying to keep my head above water. So the best way you can do it is how you need to do it based on your past. Um, the best thing I can do is if you can get to Michelle's level and catch a ride on a bird or a magical creature of some sort and just float above it and fly, 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 then of course that's the best way. That way you can look down on these changes and it doesn't throw you. Me, so far, I haven't been able to get out on top of the wave. I'm floating at the top of the wave with my head popping out, with my head bobbing down and up, down, and up. So I know what's happening, and I can spit my way through it and let it go. But it's still, as you can imagine, it pretty tiring to do it this way. But I can't seem to get any higher on the wave. Yeah, G-Man said he'd take all of the paintings. His house is gonna be full of paintings. Him just make talk texting. My mother-in-law always noticed when my eyes change color. Does she? Oh, that's kind of cool, Michelle. That your mother-in-law notices that. Most people don't even notice. One coming from Steph. One thing that has always helped me when I get hit hard is if the lights are off, I turn them on and it lightens it enough to breathe through it or parry it. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the lights on here, but G-Man is here and he pays the bills and he turns the lights off a lot. And I know I don't want to run up his bill, but yeah, the light really does help me too. Ask Michelle to send you a whale to ride. Oh, I could call a whale to ride. I know how to do it. It's just I tend to fall back off on into the water. So yeah, Sandra, she is the only one so far. She is the only one. Oh, your mother-in-law is the only one so far. Well, that's one. So I count that as a good thing. Anybody having heightened food sensitivities or specific, yes, I am having food sensitivities. Food that should be okay is not. Weird cravings for massive craving for chocolate over the last 2 weeks. And if I don't get the right chocolate, then that doesn't work. Yeah, it's definitely been weird. Okay, there's a fountain under me and a whale is coming. Okay, well, I will try to watch and hang on. Thank you very much, Michelle, and thank you very much, Gaia. Thank you very much, the fountain and the whale. I will see if I can catch it and stay on. You're on chocolate too? Jonathan's black licorice. Yeah, I wonder what that's all about. I can't really read it. That's a more earth thing, and I'm more an out in person, so I don't really know what all this food and specific to the human body. I don't know what that's all about. I'm gonna go with everybody's changing so fast that the best thing you can do is just listen and do what it asks as quickly as possible, and don't get attached to whatever it's asking you to do, because this body's changing a lot too. So I think that's the reason why it's changing its mind on what it needs all the time in order to keep up with these energetic shifts and balancing, because there's a lot of transmuting of the undivine to the divine, and then balancing. And then there's some choices that are being made to stay in the undivine. So depending upon how you're playing the game, a lot of different things can occur. Yeah, I have peanut M&Ms next to me. I have chocolate ice cream in the freezer. But last night the chocolate M&Ms didn't work for some reason, and the chocolate ice cream didn't sound good. I'm really hot on the inside right now, so my body heat on the inside. So I think I need to change things out in the freezer, or get an ice chest and get a bag of ice and chomp on ice all day long because it's really, really hot inside my body. Haha, G-Man, I like the darkness too, but it's easier to feel all the energies, including other humans, which, when negative, are hitting that are not such a good thing for me anyway. So true, Sandra. I have had lots of throw it out energy past 2 days. Well, good, Sandra. So have you been throwing things out then? Are you throwing things? I sent 2 packages to Michelle today, Sandra. And they're 2 separate packages, so I don't know how long it will take. It'll only take a day or two, I think, to get down to Michelle. So you guys be sure and let me know when you're taking a ride. Good. I'm glad you took it to Goodwill, because Goodwill, they can use it. So quiet, so still. I feel the energies in the daytime. Much rather be in the nighttime. Yeah. Yep, G-Man is definitely a night owl. So is Stephanie. Stephanie's a night owl too. But she's a different kind of night owl. She sees a lot of energies at night. The magical creatures at night, they're quite active when people are down. There's a lot of magical creatures out at night, but it's easier for me to see and feel them if the lights are on. And yep, it is pretty cool the way different people are and act. So much clarity in the middle of the night. See, I don't get clarity ever. Well, that's kind of a misnomer. I get clarity all the time and not at all. Does that make any sense? Certainly nowadays, it's not any difference. Whether it's daytime outside or nighttime, I just see better in the light. In the light. Even if it's nighttime, I love nighttime, but I love the stars and the moon. So I want to see the light, not the darkness. The darkness is beautiful, but that's not what I'm doing right now. So, of course, that also has to do with my poor vision, human vision, which is getting better and better as we speak. I caught it, Stephanie, before you told me. Yes, G-Man, I did. So, anybody else? Next question. Yep, I caught it that time, didn't I, Stephanie? All right, what's another intense question, guys? What you got for me? What have you been talking about on the website? Do you want clarified? Have you seen anything, Stephanie, that you think that I should talk to them about? 'Cause I've read through it pretty quick and pretty much to the point. Just know that these energies are here and they're strong. Don't fight them, guys. Don't fight them. Don't get thinking over the next week, 2 weeks. Don't think. Just really spend a lot of time meditating, long baths, walking in nature. If you start to get mad about something, get out of it as quick as you can because it will bury you and it will not be pleasant. So, really, everything that I've told you about staying in the now and being happier, that is exceptionally important right now. Exceptionally important. You don't have to, of course, you can do it any way you want, but it will be much more pleasant and the outcome will feel much better if you do it that way. Oh, internet's acting up. We can wait it out. No, Gaia, Jonathan says, is Gaia annoyed right now since she's in high gear? No, Gaia doesn't get annoyed ever. Whenever I said she was tired of waiting, it isn't from the standpoint of annoyance as in a human gets annoyed. It's just more like a mother says, you've got till the count of 10 and then we're going. And that was more like she is. Okay, we're counting down to 10. Okay, I've counted to 10. We're going. It was more like that. Whoever's hang on tight, whoever's there is there, but I've given you warnings, not in a mean way, not in an angry way. It's just this is the way it is. Just very matter of fact. Uh G-Man says when a volcano has a massive eruption, what is that saying to the planet and to Gaia? That can mean all sorts of things up until now. Usually it has to do with the people that are around that particular mass of land. And usually it has to do with changes that they've requested or believe will happen. Or usually it comes from negativity, but not always. But it usually, a volcano, a single volcano erupting is usually created in response to belief systems, energy put out by humans via the law of attraction, usually fear, because they're usually afraid that the volcano is going to blow up and hurt them. And the more the fear builds and the energy builds, eventually the law of attraction will make that happen. As far as the planet goes, it doesn't really affect the planet much. It doesn't hurt, or she will, if humans send out that fear that they want to have the experience of dying via a volcano or losing cities or losing their homes, then she allows that and has allowed that kind of activity for a long time. So she just goes with it, but it doesn't hurt her at all. Internet back up and running, right, Miss Stephanie? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys that are on this website, you guys need to know most of you tend to run high percentage of divine masculine and divine feminine. You still have undivine in you, and that's what this is about. This will be a more conscious change with these new energies, and you'll have to consciously allow the undivine to change, transmute into divine imbalance. That's what this whole 2 weeks is about. The harder you fight it, the more uncomfortable it will be. And the more you flow with it, the easier it will be. And the more cool things will happen on the other side. Okay? All right, Jonathan, that 1 to 10 thing, that is what I mean by representatives for Gaia, because on Sunday I saw an about face in my family and a new resolve. Uh, I wouldn't say it's representative for Gaia. I would say that in the original plan of this creation in duality, the first division was an arbitrary division between half of it being light, half of it being dark. You see that as light color, light responses, dark responses, good behavior, bad behavior. All of that is arbitrary. You just see it that way because of your beliefs in your skin suit. The second half, the second quarter, which really divided up and down. So light and dark, think of it, went left to right, and masculine and feminine went like this, and really caused four sort of triangles rather than the original yin yang of two. So the divine masculine and feminine is now raising to the next level, and it's really a transmutation. If you're raising, that you kind of let the lower ones go, and you receive the upper ones. You don't, if you're going to stay into 4D or go down to 3D and beyond, you're going to fight for the undivine, and it's going to become very, very uncomfortable here. Going to be very sick. There's going to be wars. People will die. If you go with the flow, then there'll be less sickness, less pain, less anguish as the divine comes back into the planet and balance. So you want to see, you want to visualize everyone around you, the planet included, as being the ones that are accepting the divine energies and balancing, because all of those people you want to hang out with on those timelines that are going to 5D. Those are the ones that are heading to 5D. So even if somebody's not going with the flow, you don't want to pay any attention to them playing a different game. Maybe they're not done yet. Wish them well. Turn your eyes and your consciousness over to watching someone who is. Because watching someone who is making those changes, number one, is fun, it's fascinating, it'll make you feel good. And those are the group of people that you want to hang with. Those are the aspects of the people that you want to hang with. The other ones will be here as well. Everybody does not have to go with the divine, masculine, feminine, and the balance towards 5D. They can stay right where they are in 4D, and they can go down to 3D. They can do anything they want. But if you pay attention to them, you fight them, you will be stuck in those timelines. So don't pay any attention to them. Don't let yourself be triggered by them. That will keep you stuck in the old ways. So you want to just go with the flow and be absolutely amazed by the new things that you see. Stephanie, here's a question I found on one of your YouTube vids. Trying to understand the more I listen, what's Gaia's intentions with this Lionsgate divine masculine feminine energy? Well, her intention is to raise it up into the divine, the higher vibrations that will fit on 5D and balance them so she can move into 5D completely. Because there has to be a balance, the light and dark and the feminine and masculine. They all have to be in the highest vibrations, and they must be in balance for the last of Gaia to leave 4D and go into 5D. So that's her purpose. Of course, you don't have to do that, but I am going to. Okay, also, Stephanie said, your hard truth video, the comment section has a lot of people thanking you for validating what they have silently believed for a long time. Oh, well, that's glad to hear. I thought everybody get kind of pissed off about that one, but truth is the truth. And you guys got 500 videos almost of me trying to explain this to you for the last year. It's time. Anyway, it's time for me um, to move on to these, to getting over the good, bad, and the attachments and the judgments. I'm ready to move into something else. That does not mean you need to come with me. It just means that if I start annoying you, you should probably go watch a different channel. That we maybe not be going the same route. No harm, no foul. We can talk about it when we're both dead outside the game. It'll be great fun then. But for me and quite a significant group of people, the movement is getting to be pretty fast and pretty smooth. As long as we flow with it, it's intense. You don't want to fall off. It is a giant tidal wave, so you do not want to You do not want to lose track of where you are because you can fall into the middle of it and get beat up pretty hard. So you want to stay on top of this right now. But this was done at my call specifically, and anybody who is here with me, I'm assuming you made the same call, or you wouldn't be listening to me, at least for part of this ride. Okay? All right. Next question. My best questioner, Sandra, Jonathan, what you got? I don't really think Michelle questions anything. She's so go with the flow. She'll tell you exactly what's going on in her life, but she doesn't question anything. She just goes with the flow, kind of like Stephanie. I'm trying to grow up and be just like them someday. They make it look easy, when to me it is not easy. But I tend to talk to the people where it's not quite so easy, where the lives that we've had pretty darn tough. But she's had a tough life, and she can ride that wave on the back of a beautiful dolphin. So she can do it, we can do it. We just all have to learn how. Desk jockey, hello, my dear. How ayahuasca works is it connects you to via very feminine energies directly to Gaia, and like um, herbs will help you. Really, most of the herbs that I use are through flowers, and that gets the assistance of the fairies. Ayahuasca uses plants, and the plants are so tied to Gaia that there's a lot of caring. There's a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of the plant kingdom is very tied to each other. All of the plant kingdom is very tied to each other, and ayahuasca is a direct line into that. So the plant kingdom being very tied to Gaia really can walk you through and out of all of the physical existence here and beyond, and out of, through physicality here and out, if you will listen. But it is a powerful helper and teacher, and it will listen to what your higher self says more than what your human self says. So you will be shoved and pushed to do what your higher self thinks that you need to do in the moment, which can be either extremely joyous or it can be extremely difficult, depending upon what your higher self wants you to do. My opinion, ayahuasca, if your higher self wants you to do ayahuasca to get you to learn a lesson that you're not learning, it will become very, you almost can't think of anything else. It keeps creeping back up. You don't know why. It keeps, even if you don't take that kind of stuff, it keeps hounding you and hounding you. Opportunities keep coming up, and that's usually a sign that you're supposed to be um, going and taking that spiritual look see, that spiritual lesson. It was definitely a lesson, and mine was really intense. I would say it was a college degree in physicality. But you know me, I don't do things halfway. So there is definitely stuff to be learned with ayahuasca. And if you're meant to do it, you'll know. You will absolutely know. But how it works, well, it's a teacher, it's tied to Gaia. Anything else? Well, DMT, on the other hand, it's the spiritual molecule. And if you get DMT, most of the time I think people smoke that. That's like a direct line straight to where I went when I died. That's shoots you right out of the game. So you're not going to learn anything about the game. It doesn't last very long, although Maria did do it. I think Jeremy did it and Maria did it. Maria, I think, was gone for a couple hours, which is very unusual. I think Jeremy was just the regular time, just a few minutes, but they did go directly out of the game. It's very fast, and it doesn't last very long, but it is more for to remind you of that you're a part of the all that is, and that there's way more to this game than this game. So ayahuasca is more about teaching you how to be in this game and move through it and how it works and how to get maneuver it. And DMT takes you right outside the game to something else outside the game and shows you, hey, that's just one game. Well, okay, Jonathan says, oh, now I remember. Why do animals vibrate higher and have little to no amnesia? Well, because number one of the choice that they came to play the role that they came on this planet. So they didn't want to have amnesia. They just wanted to run around on the planet and have interact with the duality of nature. So they wanted much more control of their experience. And so they do. Now, the ones that are the extreme sport nuts, they're the ones that came in to have a human brain and to lower their vibration, to argue their way into a lower density, whereas animals don't. They come in for the experience that they want, and they have as much amnesia as they wish at any given time, and it's just the way they've decided to play the game. It's there's no reason other than that's the way they wanted to play. Do either of those separate your spirit from your body? Uh, this is Desh Jockey talking about ayahuasca and DMT. You can't separate your spirit from your body. You can't truly separate anything from anything. We're all one. Now, it will appear, it might feel like you're further away from your body or disconnected from your body, but in truth, we are all one. You can't disconnect from anything. You're a part of all that is. The most that you can have is the appearance of being separated from. That's all. It's just the appearance. You can't be separated. Okay, copycat. This is one I answered on the site, but people would probably like your take. It's from Jonathan. If you're a star seed, how likely are you to meet any of your pup friends incarnated here at the same time? None. Zero. Zilch. No pub friends come down and incarnate with you. Ever. Ever. The reason why they are your pub friends is they are your support on the other side. This is an extremely difficult game. You have you have hundreds of thousands of beings. Like the spaceship takes off at Cape Canaveral and then they turn it over to Houston, and Houston has thousands of people running and watching that spaceship. That's how it is. You are the spaceship going down to Earth, and you've got hundreds of thousands of beings that are watching every aspect in every timeline. Your pub friends are your ones that are hovered right around your higher self at the very core of of Houston. They're the bosses running all those hundreds of thousands of people, keeping an eye on everything. Your pub friend would never ever leave you to go down and be um, another human. They take a whole nother crew. They would never do that. Your pub friends are up there supporting you. They're not down here supporting you. You don't need any help down here. Down here is not where you need support. You need support up there. None of them are down here. Uh, okay, desk jockey. I mean, going out of body. Well, the ayahuasca and DMT, both of you, you go out of body. The DMT, because DMT takes you out of the game, you're going to feel like you've gone way, way, way further out of body. And the ayahuasca, depending upon what your higher self is doing, will feel like you've gone a little bit out of body to quite a ways away from the body, depending upon what your goal is. But it will appear to you that, of course, you're not taking your body with you. You're sitting in your house, so you do go out of body. Absolutely. It's the body that slows everything down. It's the mind that slows everything down. So you're trying to disconnect from both the human and the mind body. The mind is in the body, and the human body, because it's slow and it's caught up in beliefs and linear time space. So the whole point in ayahuasca and DMT is to disengage you from that, to remind you who you really are, or to help you get further down the road of why you came here. It's a jump start. It's an extra lesson, so to speak, if you're stuck. Okie dokie. We got about 10 more minutes, folks. Last chance for really intense questions. And I can do this pretty easily with you guys for about an hour without it draining me pretty bad. So I would suggest that the best thing you could do, write down these questions on the days that I'm not talking and have them ready. The faster you ask the questions, the faster I can answer them. You guys are quick, so we can go through a lot of questions in a short period of time if you've got them ready to go. You're very welcome, Desk Jockey. Speaking of animals and amnesia, do animals know they're going to be food for us? Oh, absolutely, they know. Yeah, they absolutely know. And if I'm from a hunting family, and I have literally many, many times been out hunting where a deer or a duck or a pheasant would be someplace and then they would just disappear. There's no way they could be gone and they disappeared. That's because they said, no, not ready. And then there are other times you could literally, we were looking, 50 feet away at a beautiful deer going, why are they just standing there? Can't they see us? Can't they smell us? And they would just sit there and let us shoot them. That's a clear answer for them to say, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's go. Or, nah, not ready to go yet. It's another reason why the oceans, they think that there are not any dolphins and whales and the tuna fish are going away. That's not true. It's just that they didn't want to be, they're out there playing and they got tired of getting caught. So they just vibrate a little bit different so you can't see them. And then people look at the ocean and say, oh no, there's no more fish. The fish are still there. They just know how to vibrate so you can't see them anymore. That's all a part of the game. Another one from Jonathan. Being that everybody is now in 4D, is Gaia Shift supposed to feel like a challenge? I have walked away from so much in 3+ years, and for the first time understood and identified several entities, the most obvious being the pigeons. Uh, at this point, from going to 4D to 5D, challenge is a label, it's a judgment. You should leave those things to the 4Dians. They certainly will look at it as a challenge. I don't. It's just simply the place I'm going. It's not a challenge, simply the place I'm going. That's all. No resistance, no fight, no challenge. No, I'm going this way. You can go that way. I'm going this way. That's it. Sandra, shouldn't we be getting away from questions somewhat as we move into allowing them flow? Yes, but there'll be questions more along how to do the flow. Or better yet, how in this sharing of how you're doing in the flow. Because in this flow, we're all going to struggle and we're going to fall down. And I've told you guys my fall down moments over and over again. Now, hopefully, that's if you run into the same struggle, maybe you can learn from how I picked up and went so that you can do it better next time or put a tweak on it. So, over here on this other side in these talks, maybe you can tell others how you hit a brick wall there and went, hey, you know what? I did it this way. Man, it was easy. So you can help somebody else go with the flow. Well, you can ask fun questions like, you can see my favorite place outside of this game. Yeah, there's all kinds of things we could talk about what you guys are thinking about in 5D. What does 5D look like to you? Yes, that desk jockey. Yes, this is exactly why you stop and tell your food thank you for its sacrifice. Exactly. You want to say, glad that you got out, glad you moved on, but in the meantime, I really appreciate you leaving the food behind until I don't need to eat anymore. I really appreciate it. And all the people that got the food to you, all the trucks, all the grocery stores, all the cleaners, all the gasoline, all the whatever, name it. Purple sky. How do I make my broken bones heal faster than they normally do? G-Man, you believe that you can. That is the best way that you do it, is you believe that you can instead of looking things up and going, okay, well, it's 6 months to do this. You go, yeah, but I'm me and I'm a tough man and I'm strong and I'm pretty much got to handle it this and I'm eating the right things and I'm doing the right things. And you go to a belief system that you can believe and you go, maybe 6 months for them, but I think I can do this in 3, or I think I can do this at 4. You go to what you believe that you can do, and then you believe it with every bit in your heart and soul. And as a creator God, you could heal them in a second, but you have to believe that. So you have to work with the belief systems that you are now in and as positively as you can, and then tweak them day by day by what you see around you, what you feel your body's doing. So inch it over if you can't do it a big hit. If you can't immediately go, well, I lay my hands on my bones and they're healed, which you could do if you believed it, then tweak it every day in a way that you can believe. Don't listen too terribly much about what the past other humans have done because that will usually slow you down. Remember, the medical field wants you to be sick as long as possible. So they're going to put that out there that it takes you a long time so that you'll use their medications and you'll come and see them and give them more money. You, as a creator God, can heal yourself as quickly as you believe that you can. Sandra, I like that. Can you see my favorite place outside the game? Sandra. Yeah, you're Sandra. I can't see your place. Um, a lot of pink and blue, like rainbowy. It is physical, but not near as dense. A lot of laughter. A lot of people laughing, having fun games, like that sort of thing. You know, I'm talking in human speak for a game that is not human. Still a lot of energy work, high vibration, but a lot of laughter. What I would characterize as vibrations in laughter and happiness. A lot of people doing things together and having a lot of fun doing it, like a lot of play. Less different kinds of beings. Your place has more similar beings, but they love to do things together that and laugh. So, how did that feel, Sandra? Whenever I described that, are there any other creations where the vibrations are even lower than 3D? There are now. Since Earth went to 3D, since then, there are other planets that are in lower. You've got to understand that humans just arbitrarily chose 3D, 4D, 5D out of infinite number of vibrations. So the creator of this game's intention is to keep going lower and lower and lower as long as they can. So there's about a trillion more planets now that beings are on in 3D where they're going to try to go even deeper. And they'll keep doing that. They'll keep doing that. Game will keep going forever. I won't be here, but they will keep doing it forever. Yeah. Did that feel, Sandra, did that feel good to you? Did that feel like home? I was trying to see your home and give you a picture of it. You know what, Sandra, in your place, there's like wind, but There's like moving wind, but it smells like candy or cookies or something. It's like it's incorporated with the wind, different pleasant smells. Whereas most of the time there's music, in yours, there's smells in the wind. Very interesting. Pretty place. Okay, disc jockey. Would visualizing bones healing help or any other organ for that matter? Like the visualizing of a movie, Twilight, where Bella became a vampire, lol. If you could do it and believe it, yeah, it helps. It's usually that people start visualizing, and then their mind interrupts and they go, well, that won't work. It's got to be done in 6 months' time, and you're going to have surgery, and it interrupts the visualization. If you can shut the mind up, let your visualization work and believe it, absolutely, it works really well. Really well. That's how prayer works. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It works really well. All you get to do, and the more people get together in a prayer group that believe in that to keep the mind at bay, yeah, those mind healing things, they really do work. Those those faith healers, yeah, they really work. But they work because the people that they go to them believe in them, not because the faith healer is the one that's doing it. It's because the person that goes to them believes the faith healer is doing it. So they've healed themselves because of their faith that he's going to do it. That's how that works. Hey, Sandra, what do you have to say about your home place? Because that was new information. I have never seen any place that the wind smelled and blew a lot, and it smelled like candy and cookies and stuff. That was a new one. Very cool place, by the way. Very cool place. Yeah, we make ourselves sick. We make ourselves with broken bones, and we heal ourselves. Everything in your life has been created by you. Period. There is no way out. No one's done anything to you. You've done nothing to anyone else. Everyone has created everything themselves. But in the game, in the unconsciousness of your amnesia, you've just kind of done it haphazardly. Now you know that you are a creator God. It's your job to get a handle back on it and do it right and get the hang of doing it right. Get control of it. Don't blame it on everybody else. The tree falling on your leg did not break your leg. You broke your leg, and you did it by having a tree fall on your leg. Now you can heal your leg just as easy. You can go the other way with it. Yeah, Stephanie really has done that. You guys read, because I have slipped into nurse mode, and she's had to counter that. Good job, Desk Jockey. Yes, you are a creator god. You all are creator gods. You create multiverses with a split second thought. You're powerful, powerful gods. Oh, Candyland was your favorite game. Well, I can see why, because that does match your home, Sandra. And I think that that is a perfect way to end this. Let's end this talk on Sandra's home place, which we are going to call Sandra's Candyland. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much. It was a great talk. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you in a couple days. Get your questions ready, all right? Ride the wave. Yay. I love you all so much. Bye bye. Bye.